this time.
Okay, I think I'm good.
Fulfill this promise.
You're on stream.
Oh, I am? Oh, cool.
Whenever you're ready, just count down.
Okay. This is on level there to set up. Okay, I am ready.
Alright.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. So this is Shadow the Hedgehog. You've never played it before. It plays very similarly to the other Sonic Adventure era games of the time, except the biggest difference is that there's just the speed character. There's no treasure hunting for emerald pieces, there's no team mechanics, there's just Shadow. And a lot of people like to say this game is basically just Sonic with guns, and to be honest, it's a pretty fair comparison. We're going to be using guns a lot through the route, because the main strategy for half of the stages in this run are kill a lot of enemies to get an ability, then use that ability with a glitch to just skip the entire level. So the way that works is that every time you kill an evil enemy, which are the aliens, you get hero points, which is the meter on the top right. And when that fills up, you can use an ability called Chaos Control, which in this game lets you basically just fly through the level for about 10 seconds until the meter runs out. But if you open up the checkpoint menu at the same time, the meter never goes down, so you basically get infinite Chaos Control. So it's really interesting, and for half of the levels in this game, we're going to use that to just basically skip the entire level. So we got hit there. I'm dead. Okay, so there we go. The last enemy. And there we go. As you see, I'm just flying forward and the meter's not going down. Now this has a chance to crash the game, but hopefully it won't. There's not much you can do, but it's a very low chance. But, you know, still possible. See? Okay, it looks like we're good. For this level, at least. So that's Westopolis, it's first level. So coming up next is Glyphic Canyon. This is going to be the first stage where we're going to be using special weapons. So normally, every time you beat one of the multiple endings of this game, you unlock one of the 6 special weapons. They're all pretty powerful. We'll be using 5 of them over the course of this run. Now, for Glyphic Canyon, we're going to be using the Healing Cannon and the Egg Vacuum. The Healing Cannon heals enemies. And you may be thinking, why would you need to heal enemies? Well, as I said before, killing the evil enemies, the aliens, gives you hero points. You also get hero points for healing the good guy enemies, which are the gun soldiers. So we can use that to get Chaos Control exactly where we want it, so that we can use Chaos Control Glitch at checkpoint 2 rather than checkpoint 3. We can get it a lot earlier in the level because of that. As well, we're going to be using the Egg Vacuum, which is just kind of ridiculous. As you run past enemies, they just get sucked into the vacuum. It's kind of ridiculous. Okay, so at the beginning of this level, there's a loop and a boost panel, which we're just going to completely skip because they're slow and we need to go fast, so we need that thing. We're just going to spin dash past it. That actually saves like 5 seconds. It's really slow to take that boost panel. So here's a shadow box. This is where all the special weapons appear in. There we go. There we go. And there we go. Just sucking. As you see, the enemy's just completely sucked in. So up next, you're going to see what's called a spin dash high jump. So normally when you spin dash in Sonic games, you just get a lot of horizontal speed and momentum. And we're just going to redirect all of that momentum upwards. I failed. There we go. We redirect all the momentum upwards to jump really high. That has a lot of uses in a lot of the levels of the game, and it saves a lot of time overall in various levels. You're going to see it later in the run as well on Air Fleet. There we go. Another CCG. Chaos Control Glitch. And this will just bring us straight to the goal ring. So up next is Prison Island, and we're going to, instead of going to the goal ring, we're going to be doing the Dark Mission. So this game has a mission-based structure so that each level you go to varies depending on which mission you beat in each level. And the Dark Mission for Prison Island, you have to defeat all the enemies, because the missions are kind of like Team Chaotix in Sonic Heroes. Sometimes you find a certain number of things, sometimes you destroy a certain number of things, and for the next level, like I said, we have to kill 40 gun soldier enemies for the Dark Mission, of which there are 41 in the level. Now, that's a lot of enemies to kill, and we're still trying to go fast. And to do that, another special weapon comes in a lot of handy, the Omochao gun.
I take orders.
The Omochao gun does a lot of damage. In this level in particular, it one-shots every enemy. But what's also special about it is that whenever you defeat an enemy with it, it bounces to it homes in on a new enemy and can bounce back and forth between enemies like a pinball, which can help you get a lot of enemies without needing to stay in one place to make sure you hit them all. Though at the beginning of the level, we're just going to be using a normal machine gun until we get to the first shadow box in the level. So for about 12 of the gun soldiers, we're using a machine gun, and then we switch to the Omochao gun for the rest of the level. So the very beginning of this level, I'm going to like turn around on a rail, because there's a booster right behind where you start. It only saves a few frames, but you know, a few frames is still something.
This place used to be a human military base.
So up here is everyone's favorite character, Charmy. Almost forgot that enemy. But like, what's a top secret disc? One's favorite, of course. Anyway, so up here, we're going to take an air saucer, which is one of the various vehicles in the game. The only one that's even decent in the slightest, also. And we can use this to make sure we don't to go over this acid river. Because normally, if we were on the acid river, we'd be taking damage as we walk on it, but we don't do that on the vehicle. Though the next acid river in the level, we're not going to be using this, and you'll see why when that comes. This is for Shadow Box, and we pick up the Omochao gun. There's a lot of hero enemies here, and this is actually where the Omochao gun really comes in handy. It's because it really helps in killing all those enemies really fast. And because there's no gun soldiers in this section right here, we can just completely chaos control over it, and then we have to stop there in order to get these three. So up here, the dark meter is going to be filled, which normally allows us to use, normally just allows us to use Chaos Blast, but that's useless. Instead, we're going to use the fact that it gives us invincibility and infinite ammo. So even though I only have one ammo left for this gun, I can just completely fire on all these enemies without a problem, and just run on the acid river. It's really helpful. This probably saves a good, like, maybe 15-20 seconds, maybe even more, just to the fact that you can be invincible over this. And there we go. As we're going to fall, we're going to hit the last two enemies. There we go. That's Prison Island. So, up next is the Doom. We're going to be doing the normal mission again.
Now let's see the humans try to retaliate.
But we're not going to be using Chaos Control Glitch. The normal missions get to the goal ring. We're not going to use Chaos Control Glitch, and we're not even going to kill enemies. Instead of killing enemies, we're going to be putting out fires, because that gives a lot of... killing the evil enemies gives you hero points as well as putting out fires, because it is a very heroic thing to do. As well, we're going to be doing a sequence break in this level. So this level is a very maze-like structure. You can kind of, from later parts of the level, you can go backwards by hitting like a switch on one side of a wall, but you're not supposed to be able to hit it from the other side. However, using one of the special weapons, the satellite laser, we can home in, we can fire a shot on it through the wall, summon an airstrike to hit it, and just completely skip more than half of the level. Like, just pick up the gun, hit a switch, boom, we skipped more than half the level. And, there we go, almost missed those fires. There we go. This chaos control is going to bring us straight to the goal ring. There we go. So up next is a boss fight, Hedgehog. Hedgehog is a very tricky boss. He can go wrong. The biggest thing is at the very beginning of the fight, he's going to stand still and like fire a laser out. And during that time, we want to get him to drop one of his guns, so we have to hit him a lot. And it's kind of luck, because I don't know how to prevent it, but it's possible to get hit by that laser and fall, which makes it really hard to get him to drop one, because then he starts moving. Hopefully we can get it during the first cycle. If I take damage too early, I'm just going to restart the fight, because it's honestly faster than trying to get him while he's moving. Damn it, yeah. That happens sometimes.
This is Hedgehog.
It's just a very tricky boss fight. Well, at least a very tricky beginning. After you get a weapon, it's easy peasy. There we go. Perfect. So now we just use this rocket launcher to basically just completely destroy him.
Mantis platoon heavy dog to HQ. Come in. Requesting emergency assistance in eliminating targets. Particle beam cannon. Fire!
Fired that laser a lot later than I expected it to.
Particle beam.
Okay, that's good. 31 is not a bad time for this fight.
We're losing. Ah!
Oh yeah, how is Maria in the one level? Yeah, it's a flashback. Actually, it's not. It's like, I don't know, that's weird. It's basically a flashback. There's some weird thing you could argue being like a mental projection or something. But yeah, Maria is in the level. So up next is Air Fleet, and we're going to be doing the Dark mission. And the Dark mission for this level is just to destroy the President's escape pod. And to do that, we're going to use the Shadow Rifle, which is the most powerful weapon in the game. It one-shots literally every enemy in the game. It's kind of ridiculous. And it takes 25 shots to take down the escape pod with the Shadow Rifle. But however, and that's fine, but there's a problem in that a single Shadow Box only contains 20 ammo for Shadow Rifle. So we need to get 2 Shadow Boxes. And to do that, we're going to be using the key door in this level. And each level has a key door and 5 keys, and through it is usually something like a vehicle, or a shortcut, or guns. In this case, we just have an alternate path. But what's special about that alternate path is that there's a Shadow Box in it. We just damage boost through that rail. So get this, and we're also going to take another Shadow Box that's on the normal path above here. To do that, we're going to be doing another Spin Dash high jump. This one's a lot harder. We're going to do it off this checkpoint. There we go. Okay, good. I almost didn't make it there. It's a really hard jump to make that. It's very precise. And the timing is pretty precise. So there we go. Now we have enough ammo. We're just gonna go up to the ship and just completely destroy it. However, you'll notice that I'm not just spamming all my ammo into it, because for some reason, I have no idea why, they programmed it so that the escape pod has like an invincibility period after you fire a shot at it. No idea why they programmed it that way, but whatever. There we go. Destroyed. It takes a few seconds until it actually stops. There we go. So up next is Gun Fortress, which is the final level in the game. And we're going to be doing the hero mission, which is just to get to the goal line, because there is no normal mission for this stage, so here is the goal line. And so again, we're just going to be using Chaos Control Glitch like we did in the first 2 stages. And to do that, and we're going to be using the Healing Cannon and the Egg Vacuum, just like Lithic Canyon. So one neat little trick I've been doing throughout the run that I haven't been explaining yet. So usually, whenever Shadow picks up a gun, he stops in place, picks it up, loses all of his speed because he stops, and it's annoying. But we can skip that animation, like that, but if we run into it at a certain speed or jump into it a certain way, which can save a lot of time, and then we can keep the speed we already had, and skipping the animation also saves time, which is good. There we go. And now, I picked up the wrong gun. Oop, there we go. As I see, I ran into it to make sure I could skip the animation, and also get a lot of speed going into the part after it.
Familiar terrain gives us the advantage.
I almost missed those 2 enemies there.
This is our last stand.
It just sucks everything in.
Nobody gets away from guns.
The ring dash is very silly. I don't know why, that ring dash failed so many times. That's kind of ridiculous. Never had it fail that badly. I'm messing up this part of it. Not too bad though.
Destroy the core of the base, and then this planet will be completely different.
There we go.
Behold the ultimate power.
Shadow.
And now we're just gonna Chaos Control Glitch to the end again.
They've got to be after the
There we go.
That's
So up next is the final boss, Black Doom. Now Black Doom is a very odd boss fight. It's very RNG dependent. So normally he has 3 attacks he can use. Meteors, Fire, and Split Strike. And normally the game expects you to only be able to hit him at the end after he uses his attack. However, if he uses either fire or swift strike, you can hit him during the attack animation, which can allow us to get a lot more shots in. So ideally, he either uses fire and then swift strike, or swift strike and then fire, so that we can beat him in 2 cycles. We also have to pick up 2 different gun pickups during the fight because there isn't a lot of ammo during the fight, or rather the gun that we use doesn't do a lot of damage and there's only so much ammo for it, so we have to get 2 different pickups. So we have to run from one corner of the battlefield to the other, as you'll see that I do. So as well, which direction, that Black Doom's movement is also random, like which direction he goes. And if he goes towards me, it's bad, because it makes it really hard to go to the other gun and then hit him again his next attack. So both which attack he uses and the movement he goes all change whether you can 2 cycle, 3 cycle, or 4 cycle this boss.
He's the one behind
And he went towards me.
Shadow.
And he got meteors too, that's the bad attack. So when he uses that, I can only hit him 6 times before he teleports away and becomes invincible.
You would have been spared this pain.
I might have used too much ammo. I might have accidentally fired too much.
Strike.
Yeah, I definitely don't have enough ammo. I need to reset. Unfortunately. Because once you start the second phase, I get Chaos Control to get infinite ammo. But I have to have at least 1 ammo to be able to get infinite.
Behind these terrorists.
Yeah, this side again.
Shadow, it's up to you.
There we go.
Attacking the body won't do any good. There has to be a weak spot.
And he gets meteors again. Cool. Nice fight. Yeah, because I got the bad movement RNG the first fight, it made it really tricky. You can have meteors again? Oh my god, I'm gonna get 4 cycles over this. Bad RNG. Because he was all the way on that side, I had to rush to the other side to get the gun, and then rush to hit him again, and because of that, I fired way too
We
early.
need to try to figure out
Wasted a lot of shots. There we go, time.
You traitor. Do not
1705 or so.
That's not bad. Of course, the Black Doom fight could have gone better. Gun Fortress could have been better, but that was still a pretty good run. I'm still proud of that.
Sorry to disappoint, but this is the end.
I'm gonna let the ending cutscenes play, and then I'll just show a few other things, because I'm pretty far above estimate. I can just, maybe show some things.
Yeah, you got like infinite time. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah,
but
okay, then. There's not a lot of things, but it's fun. I'll just let this cutscene play out first. So, the way we did pure dark, but we went hero at the last second, so we just betrayed Black Doom at the end. Because, fun fact, this is actually the any percent route. This is the fastest one. A lot of people think neutral is fastest. Pure dark's actually fastest. So basically, by going hero at the end and betraying him, instead of destroying the world with Black Doom, we're going to try to take over the universe. That's this ending. There's 10 different endings of this, and then a true ending.
rise again.
I'm Shadow the Hedgehog, the ultimate life form born to rule all.
I'm glad this game didn't crash. It's a low chance, but it can happen. And it's never crashed. It's been in GDQ twice, and it's not crashed the other time. And I've not crashed in any other marathon, so... Keep going. Yeah, that's it.
What makes it crash?
the Chaos Control glitch is very unstable because, as you see, I'm going through the level so fast, flying over with everything, that it's constantly, loading the new parts of the level and unloading the parts of the level so fast that it can't quite keep up with it, so it crashes sometimes. Also, sometimes it crashes whenever it wants to, but that's very rare. So, fun thing with the Doom, I did a sequence break in order to, skip, to go through the door. Fun fact, there's another way you can sequence break the exact same part.
Everyone else behind.
It's not as fast, but it looks a lot cooler.
People being held by the gun soldiers in the lab.
Remember.
I'm not gonna beat the level, but I can at least show the sequence break, because it's basically the same thing. Kill fires and then do a thing.
Damn it.
So, again, the door is to the left, over there. and it's locked. And so instead, we're gonna do another spin dash high jump.
Means nothing if there was a traitor working on
You guys need to die. Knife you. There we go. One time I've ever used a knife in the game, probably. This is a very tricky spin dash high jump. It's very precise. More precise than the other two that I did.
No! Men, forgive me.
Yeah, I made it. So I just skipped the part. Again, I'm on the other side of the locked door now. So that's another way to skip it. I found that actually like 2 months ago, myself, and it's really only useful in expert mode. It hasn't even been used in any runs yet, but yeah, that's fun. One other fun thing you can do, in the stages with the vehicles you have to destroy, like Air Fleet, like earlier, as well as Lethal Highway and Iron Jungle, the way that they program the vehicles is very odd. So,
Shadow. My soldiers.
this is basically a fun the IL strat, which is interesting. So, if I just come up here, I'm gonna pick up these guns. And I get invincibility and infinite ammo. I'm gonna start destroying this thing, just firing at it. That's her amount of health, whatever. Has a lot of health. And whoops, it got away. So now I'm gonna kill myself.
Damn.
As you notice, the shield moved from blue to green. And as you notice, after I kill myself, it's still damaged. It has the same damage that it had before.
Have already secured the emerald. This city means nothing to us now. Time to withdraw.
Yeah, it's very interesting that they programmed it that way. And it makes it really easy to IL this level, because, or really weird strat. Because you can basically just, I didn't kill it, but I got it really close to death. You notice the shield went away, and that's basically the trick. So you can basically just get the timer down to like 7 seconds when you beat it, by getting it down to like 1 hit left, and then dying, and then doing a single hit and beat the level, and your timer will be like 7 seconds. It's a really weird way to program it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's good for Shadow. You guys should stick watching.
Not bad.
Up next is Donkey Kong 64. You guys, it's a good run. You guys should watch that. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for playing the video game, dog. I appreciate you.
Yep.